Hello everyone, I'm Genie, and today we're going to be taking a look at 5 mistakes that survivors make in Dead by Daylight. I believe these mistakes, even in red ranks, I see people making them. God damn it. So yeah, let's get to them, lads. If you'd like to see more Dead by Daylight content, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment with your thoughts on these mistakes. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be seeing a lot of things that you've seen somewhere already, right, in your games. So yeah, like the video and let's get to it. Not knowing what it means to win, right? That's the first one. And I put this one here because this can affect your enjoyment of the game. If you don't know exactly why you're playing, like what it really means to you, you're gonna actually suffer a little bit. So at this point you have two options, right? You either want to rank up or you want to survive every game. You cannot really do both, focus on both every game because they take like different approaches, right? If you want to rank up, for instance, it's important for you to focus on unhooks, right? Taking your partners away out from the hooks when they're hooked, being on chase, like being chased by the killer for substantial amount of time, so you actually get points on that regard, and doing at least like one gen, right? At least one gen per match, and then you can start doing some other thing. Because you see, only surviving will not make you rank up. This is not how the game was programmed to be played. On the other perspective, right? If you would like to survive, that's your focus, you want to survive. So what you want to do is you want to do the maximum amount of gens that you can, right? You need to fix the maximum amount of gens, and every game you should be paying attention to one thing. You should be paying attention to where the hatch usually spawn, because yes, even though it's random, it's not completely randomized. Every map, they will have like a pattern, right? A place that the hatch will spawn most frequently, like, and they usually go around like 3 places for every map, or 4, something like that. It's not too big. It's something that if you play for long enough, you can memorize. Like, as I said, however, playing for the second option is not how the game was supposed to be played. That's why you don't rank up doing so. But if getting killed is something that really tilts you and it kills your enjoyment out of the game, you should be focusing on surviving more. Now, you should have in mind that this objective of yours will change from match to match, so even though sometimes you will be focusing on ranking up, it's something that in some games you'll just say screw it, I don't want to rank up. In this one, I really just want to survive. So for instance, in this game that I'm going to be showing, you're probably showing it right now, like my teammates screwed me up pretty goddamn badly, pretty goddamn hard, and I started getting like tilted. I started thinking, okay, I don't give a damn if I don't rank up on this one. I just want to survive. I just want this one to end. So what I did is, after I made some gens already, I got some saves, but it was not enough saves. I made some gens, and then I went to the basement, tried to find a key, and surprisingly I did find a key. So I got the key and I started to go somewhere that I already know the hatch is possible to be spawning. So I got lucky, the hatch spawned, and I left. But as you can see, I did not rank up. I got a black pip, right? But for me, that was normal. I didn't give a damn because I just wanted to survive. So, you should play in order to enjoy yourself in the game, in the same time that you don't screw every teammate you get, unless you think they deserve to be screwed. But this should be the minority of the time. The majority of the time you should try to play like a team. You should try to win the game, in my opinion, but it's gonna depend on how you want to see it, right? Second, and it's actually a very goddamn important one, not planning your escape routes. Now, this one is important if you don't want to feel, miserable every time the killer chases you. The reality is that if you're playing Survivor in this game, you will have quite a lot of time, quite a lot of free time, so you should be using your time accordingly, right? While you're running around at the start of the game, trying to search for gens, you should also be looking, be on the lookout for jungle gems, which are places that you can make the killer waste time chasing you. Usually there are places that you can find one window in one pallet. Usually that's how it goes, and you can loop properly. That's what you should be looking for. You should be looking at where the pallets are as well. So, because the thing is, when you get to a gen, you start fixing it. you should already have in mind where you're going to go if the killer chases you, if the killer appears, where you're going to run up to, right? If he finds you, what are you going to do? So you should have a escape route in mind, because if you don't, odds are you're going to be running to an open place without a pallet, without a window, without anything that you can rely on to stay alive. So, you know, planning ahead and doing these type of things really will make you enjoy the game quite a lot more. And this is something that is not really a burden to do, because as I said, you do have a lot of free time in this game. So since you're already fixing a gen and searching for gens, you might as well be looking for what you can use when the killer finds you. Now the third one, going for saves when you're injured. Oh boy, how I love when I see, you know, I'm on hook and I see a goddamn teammate bringing the killer back to me. Wow, it feels so good. Now, if you got downed close to a hook, let me tell you that you just screwed up everyone's game. You kinda did. Because look, there are 4 people, right? One is hooked, you got downed near a hook. Supposedly, the other 2 other guys on your team, they're probably doing a gen, like if they're not completely potatoes, they're probably doing a gen. So, if you got downed, it means that both of them will have to get out of their gens that they're probably completing or at least halfway there, and they're not going to be able to finish it because both of them will have to save you guys. You know, the first guy got hooked, like normal people do, and then you got downed near a hook. So this really puts everyone in your team in a very bad spot. What you should be doing, you know, there are 2 possibilities in this situation. Like, you're injured. So what you should be doing when someone is hooked is very simple. First, you should be on a gen. You should do gens. That's what you should do. If you know, there's no one around to heal you. And the only 2 opportunities that you will find plausible to be going for the unhook is, first, the killer is already trying to chase someone else. It's already chasing someone else, you know, away from the hook. And the second is, like, if your teammate is about to die, right? You see, like, okay, if I get out of this gen right now, I'm gonna be there just in time to save him. So these are the 2 possibilities that you should be going for the unhook. That is plausible, right? It's thinkable, it's justifiable to be injured and still go for the unhook, because if your teammate dies, then so freaking be it. You guys already are in a disadvantageous position, right? So this is something that you should be keeping in mind. Now this 4th one is just as bad, right? Which is looping the killer around a hooked teammate, right? That's just as freaking goddamn bad. Like, yes, sometimes people, you know, they go even further. Not only they bring the freaking killer to us when we're hooked, but they loop the killer around us. Like, god damn it, people do that. So let's, you know, put this into perspective. You were on a gen, right? And you see that the killer just hooked someone. The only thing you should not be doing is taking the killer back to the hook that he just hooked. Right, the guy that he just hooked. You should not do that, because you're doing 2 things. First, you're going to be wasting other people's time, because their odds are someone is already around and someone will unhook the guy, right? That's what probably is going to happen. So if someone got hooked, one of the 3 are going to the hook so they can unhook him, right? And if the killer is going towards you, you run back. The other guy cannot unhook your partner because, you know, the killer is around, and you're making the hook. You know, you're making the killer camp your partner, even though he doesn't really want to camp because he went after you, but you brought him back to the goddamn, you know, hook. Goddamn, what the hell are you doing with your life? So this is something you should not be doing, right? So let's take this clip as an example, right? I have borrowed time, so I can't afford to go for some, you know, unsafe hooks, and they're gonna be actually safe because I have borrowed time, right? So that's why I stay around. But in this scenario, I see that the killer doesn't really want to leave the hook, right? He's, you know, roaming around. Perhaps someone is around. So my plan here is to get his attention and try to get him as far away from the hook as possible, so my team can, you know, get a better grasp of how to deal with this situation. Like, they can unhook and they can heal themselves and go back to a gen, right? This is the plan. And you might say, okay, Genie, but what if he doesn't go after you? All right, if he doesn't go after me, I know for a fact that he's camping. So I'm sorry for my you know, hooked comrade, but I will be doing a gen, and odds are I'll just try to unhook him when he's almost dying. That's how you should approach these type of situations, because people camp sometimes and there's nothing you can do. But if you can, this is how you should approach these type of situations. Never loop the killer around a hook. Never freaking do that. You're killing your teammate. Now the fifth one, right, is not fixing gens when you should be doing so. Yeah, I know that pressing M1 for 5 minutes straight is actually a little bit boring. It's a little bit not fun, but you should at least fix one gen on your own, right? So you're not really hindering your team by wasting time doing nothing. So not only because of that, actually, not only because you're helping your team, but also you will be, you know, acquiring some points that are, you know, mandatory if you want to rank up. So actually do gens, like at least one gen, and then you can hop up and do something else, like be more altruistic and help your team, like with unhooks, with saves, with you know, flashlight saves, and yeah. So as a rule of thumb, always try to do one gen as soon as the match starts. You know, hop into a gen, finish that gen, and then you can do whatever you want. Open chests, you do you, man. That's your life then. Because this is something you should have in mind as well. Like, if everyone is being altruistic, if everyone is trying to save everyone, no one is fixing a gen. If no one is fixing gens, no gates will be open, no hatch will spawn, everyone is dying. So have that in mind. Doing gens only is not fun, but it's something that sometimes you will have to do. Alright? So that's it for this video, lads. Do subscribe if you'd like to. If you liked it, leave a comment, because maybe I forgot something. I probably did, right? Probably there are several big mistakes that people goddamn make every freaking time. So if you would like to say that, like which one did I forget, leave on the comment section down below. If you'd like to join us on Discord as well, we have a community, very friendly. You gotta be civilized. If you're civilized and you do want to join as well, just stick around on YouTube. You can. You'll still be a comrade. So yeah, lads, thank you for watching, and see ya.